Everyone, it's Monday. It's the 2 days after the draw against Brentford, and how we all feeling if you're still having a day off from work because it's Easter Monday. If you're celebrating, let us know because this stream is all about your opinions, the fan opinions. Win, lose, draw. That is kind of the only result we know in football, isn't it? That's the result that you can get because a win at the end of the day saves your weekend and makes you a little bit euphoric in how you feel and how you anticipate the next game to go. It is a little bit like a drug fix. It's like living on cloud seven, like that win 4-3 win over Liverpool, and we were all going into that euphoric feeling that we can do this. But a draw at the end of the day, it's almost like a loss, isn't it? Because the mood depends on how the team is played and how we actually got to the point of the draw. Now, Manchester United didn't lose, but we certainly had a draw, and that changed the mood because a lot of people are pissed off. It's just the way they played, and they bottle it in a certain way because the top four was in their hands over Brentford, but a loss in a way feels like a dross, doesn't it? It destroys your hopes and sends you to a very dark place, blaming everything, blaming everyone, pointing fingers and asking how, why, who to blame here, and what about the players? What about the manager? What about this? What about that? And we ended up, going the rest of the week and hanging our heads in shame. Well, on this stream today, we're going to discuss how Manchester United and Ten Hag can save themselves with 9 games to play, 27 points. 9 versus 11 men, it's not sustainable football. And what should Sir Ineos or Sir Ratcliffe and Manchester United do? Well, stick around because this is the talking points. This is the aftermath, and you are definitely part of the show. Please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification button so you never miss an upload. And we should be back very, very soon, 5 to 10 seconds.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Dankjewel. I feel welcome. Dit is my home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
And we are live. Good morning, people. Happy Monday. How is my community doing? What is the mood check? Is it doom and gloom? Talk to me because this stream is all about you. It's not about having an opinion on Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out. It's like a broken record. We've seen this script before, but it is more about the mood check, about the fan base. You're waking up the day after on Sunday. You saw that, horrible snore fest. The top four, the top one battle is looking very saucy at the moment. But Jesus Christ, that game yesterday, we're talking about Arsenal versus City. That was like a snore fest, wasn't it? Like it was like two boxes, two giants stepping into the ring and not even laying a glove on each other, just dancing around each other for 12 months, hoping that somebody would land an uppercut. And that didn't happen, peeps. So, how are you doing? As deluded before, a loss is a loss, but we actually drew the game. And it's just a matter of fact, where do we go from here? Right? You can point the fingers on the manager, you can point the fingers on the club, you can point the fingers on certain players. But in this video, what I want to discuss about is the overall 360 degrees root cause analysis to break it down cool and composed because that's what we do here. If you're Ten Hag in, that is your goddamn given right to do. If you're Ten Hag out, yeah, that's your opinion. But at the end of the day, as a club, as a collective unit, we want our club to be successful. We want to reach at least Champions League football or finish strong. And knowing that on Thursday we are going to play Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, so it's not just about turning up for the event. It's not like a tap of water where the players can choose to have hot or cold or switch on when they want to and switch off when they want to as well. No, as fans, we do expect to have full flow water and as hot as possible. So, you know what? We're going to dive into that, but I just going to check how you all feeling. And I'm going to give you guys a shout out. It's only me here in the studio. Instead of doing a video, I thought, but maybe I should just go live to see, the truth seeker is here to say, I want Ten Hag out. Such a disappointment. As again deluded, that is your opinion, truth seeker. And here we always try to seek the truth. Lucky Singh is running on fumes at the moment. Manchester United badge must be, must, yeah, running for Manchester United badge must when put on the shirt. And this is part of the stream as well, Lucky. So big up to you. Mason Mount coming in to score that goal was sort of beautiful. Like, number 7 scores the goal, but at the end of the day, we could not protect that lead. 2 minutes, it's all it took to protect that lead. So, Kenny Fan TV said, drop Bruno and start Mount against Chelsea. Kenny, in a way, I can understand you, but this is the typical conundrum of our fan base. We're always looking for paper of the cracks. Blame the finger on Bruno, and if somebody does well, like Mason Mount, that hasn't kicked the ball for 4 months, all of a sudden comes in and scores, and all of a sudden he's better than Bruno and needs to start. This is part of the problem as well, Kenny, and this is the part of the problem that we need to discuss as a community. Can Hag doubt what you say? Well, I've been saying for quite a while as well that I'm Ten Hag doubt. And the reason per se is that, you know, I have standards, right? I love my club. I want Ten Hag to succeed. I want players to be better because on paper, they are better than everyone else. But it's just the mentality, isn't it? It's just when you choose to show up, right? Against Liverpool, everyone showed up. But against Brentford, lesser team, we've seen the script before. Dumb tooling, not even bothering, not even tracking back, no runners, no performance, no desire. And at the end of the day, you got to give it to Brentford, by the way, who had equally amount of time to rest and prepare for this game. So what is the excuse? Either is the players are not listening to the manager's instruction, or is the players to saying, well, hang on a second, I'm getting paid mega bucks and I can do whatever I want, but because at the end of the day, we've seen this before, we can sack the manager and still be there at the club. That is the script, right? At the end of the day. I'm going to dive into that as well. So why I'm thinking so. Big up for all of you. Don't forget to smash the like and describe. Uh, what do you say, Neil Driscoll? Try to watch the crap football top 4 gone now. Now for you, Mick. Well, Neil, top 4. Well, 85 or 86% is leading. That fifth will give you Champions League at least, and we are 8 points behind. You know, Spursy. And Spursy, we know they're going to play like, 4 tough games of, the top 4 teams. And definitely they're going to drop points. And Villa had one game ahead of us as well played. And they're also having tough run of fixtures. But we should never be in this position, to be honest, to be hopeful that those 2 teams need to lose and us to get fourth. There's decisions to be made here. Like, Amadou Onana is a poor man's Pogba. Yeah, and this is what we're going to talk about at the end of the show as well. I'm gonna present you a case and stick around for this because you're gonna have a say, right? If you want to call in as well, I will paste the link later on for you to express yourself, as this is a call-in show as well. So at the end of the day, you try to watch this crap and it destroys your weekend. As I said, like, a draw feels like it's a dross, right? And I'm not going to, do a April's Fool's Day because I've seen that a lot of people have been trolling on Twitter, on socials, trying to troll us. Like, but the perfect April's Fool's Day joke will be to give Southgate to Klopp, replace Southgate with Klopp and Liverpool, and let's see how they will laugh. Anyway, fun. Anyway, so how you doing? Mental Ball Game is here. Big up to you, Mental. Mick, I want to be behind Ten Hag so bad, and I want him to succeed, but he ain't making it very easy for him. He's making it very difficult to back him with these tactics. Compost. Yeah, I agree what you're saying there, Mental. And part of this is what I'm going to talk about as well. I just want to shout you out first. League Champions League is over, Mick. Players have given up. Have they? Uh, there's a reason why the thumbnail says 9/11. Ten Hag better call 9/11, and I'm going to talk to you about what that means as well. Uh, let me see. Let me see who else. Ivo Bosic. Always, I love Ivo Bosic because he comes in with a very critical eye to say he might ender me slightly if he beats Liverpool on the weekend. Yes, and to dent the title charge. That would be something, Ivo. Right? Imagine if we do a double on him, right? Oof, Klopp would be so angry. And I believe we could. I believe we could because we've seen the players can do that, right? They turn up for the right event and take a sleeping pill when you're playing the lesser teams, right? We've seen Fulham as well. We've seen many games like this. But 1-1 is 1-1. That is the result, and football is a results business. If you're going to win the league, sometimes you're not playing pretty, but it's, the results that get you over the line. Even a draw. That must be a win game for me. 100% for me as well. Even Chelsea must be a win game from now. 27 points to play, right? And counting on that Spurs will lose points and Everton will, not Everton, but Una Emery and Aston Villa will lose point. Yeah, you don't care about Chelsea, but Chelsea is there for the taking, right? Chelsea's kind of been a little bit of toothless, but it all depends on, the team selection and who comes in there with the mentality, playing the bridge, playing their midfield, and it's just, they are similar to us. They're not cohesion enough, right? They don't play for each other. They play for individual brilliance in a way. So it's going to be a very interesting fight, and that reminds me of the yesterday's title charge, right? Liverpool goes hardly beats their team, their opponents with 2-1. They're getting tired, and then you look at Arsenal versus City as well. Nobody dared to lay a glove. Nobody wanted to attack, and nobody wants to concede a goal. So this race is going to be very, very interesting. Arguably, to say it's the most fantastic title race I've seen for a decade or so. Anyway, uh, moving on to this chat. UK strains. What are you saying? Afternoon from the UK, man. Afternoon. I realize it's summer times right now, so I'm happy because now UK is 6 hours ahead of me only, and 5 hours ahead of me if it's Central European time. So no other than me is going to be happy doing this post-match reaction shows as per Saturday was a 5 a.m. in the morning. So it's not easy to create a thumbnail and to call it bottle job and call it what it is, that it was a piss poor performance and get criticized for it. Because guess what? 98% of the global fan base content creators felt the same. It was, and you got to call it, you got to criticize the team of the team performance. You got to criticize the manager when he's not doing right, and you got to give them the roses as well at the end of the day. So uh Jarvis is here. Good afternoon, Jarvis. How you doing? Good to see you, my buddy. And by the way, Jarvis is doing Jarvis Corner later on with Phil Marsh, one ex Manchester United player. So that should be a very interesting stream to watch out for. Of course, we're going to talk about the technical breakdowns, but we're going to talk about the injuries, as Phil Marsh is one hell of an experienced ex-academy player as well that knows everything, what it is to be injured. And we're going to also look at Tyrell Malacia, what's going on with that one as well. At the end of the day, guys, let me just land to the point, Let me land to the point. Just stay with me, all right? So the title is How Can Ten Hag Save Himself, right? 9 games left. But at the end of the day, when you look at the season, we've been playing 9 versus 11, 9-1-1. And that's why I call it. It's not clickbait. Better call 9-1-1. 9 men versus 11. It's not sustainable football. What should Manchester United do? What should Ineos do? It's not that. You play with 9 men the whole season. It's not because of the injuries, according to my opinion. I've been taking 2 days to reflect on this result, and I came up with this, right? It's not the injuries that's not the problem, right? It is not what play with what you got. It is play with what you know. Let that sink in. Play with what you know. You see, equally, you can argue to the point that Ten Hag is clueless, his in-game management, but then play with what you got means with, yeah, I can look to the bench and I have 11 injuries. I have certain players that can only play certain style. And that is why I say play with what they know. We know the names: ignorant, pragmatic, self centered. And what I say, play with what they know, is pragmatic. Think about it. They've been schooled since Jose Mourinho to play counter-attacking football, and at the same time, certain players has been backed by the club over the manager. That is the case. Sacking a manager will cost you around 20 million, but sacking players will cost you more, as the player are protected assets. So the big question here with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, as every fan that I know at least sees the problem. And who are the problem, right? They have two options, in my opinion, and I want to engage with you. If you think that I am right, press a one. If you think that I'm wrong, press a two in the chat. Option number one, according to my opinion, is, you know, you now, Ineos, have come in and made a massive PR. You know, you said you're going to appoint Omar Berrade. Yes, fine. You're going to start in the summer. You said you're going to get the best in class in terms of Dan Ashworth, Wilcox, the director of football. And you always said that it's not always the coaches or the manager's fault, right? It's the right kind of structure and setting above them. So if you now sack the manager, then you are contradicting and shooting yourself, right? So it's all coming down to what you're promising now to the fans with the new stadium and everything latest and greatest. What style of football do you want to play? That's the question that I want to engage with you. If it's pragmatic football, counter-attacking football, then it makes sense to keep those players like Rashford, Shaw, McTominay, or Bruno, as they only know one way, and that's they've been schooled in one way, and that is counter-attacking football. Sit back and hit him on the break. I think it's called muscle memory. That's thinking muscle memory. Basically, you can play football. We know we've seen it, right? We've seen against Liverpool. We've seen against numerous. I think it's 3-4 games that they can play Ten Hag style of football, which is high press. Everyone tracks back, everyone defends it, a team attacks it as a team, but they choose when to switch on the tap and when to switch off. But if Sir Ineos, fuck me what I say, Sir Ineos again, if he chooses to play that style of football, it makes sense to keep those assets because that's what they know to do. But if you are like Ten Hag, that you want to play, a high possession based football, fluid, like everyone, you watch a Brighton, like they follow each other like a water bottle, where the ball goes, the defense goes, when the attack goes, everyone follows and everyone press and defends as a team. If that is what you want, and if you are saying all of a sudden that our policy is now to recruit players under 26 years of age and focus to blend in youth players, attract youth players to play with more experienced players, then you have to be ruthless. You have to cut off the head of the snake, because that simply does not cut the bill. If you understand what I'm saying here, let me know, because these are two options here, right? So what I'm saying here, if you're planning to sack Ten Hag, then you pretty much deciding that I'm going to stick with the United DNA at counter-attacking football. And that makes sense to keep players like Rashford, who does not track back, right? Luke Shaw, that only knows to play with Rashford with the overlaps and underlaps. Rashford without Luke Shaw is a headless chicken, right? I'm not calling the players out because I'm calling it out because of the ability on the pitch. Make no mistake about this, right? This is not about slagging players, right? And then you got to look at who else is there, right? Who else? Lindelof, Maguire, Varane. Who is going to stay? Who's going to leave? And what we need to do at the end of the day. Because these players have shown our fan base they can play when they want to, right? They turn up for the big occasions. We have Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. We have Liverpool at home. But what about the lesser teams? You cannot just choose and let us fans down, right? You got to be consistent week in, week out. Hot, 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 full steam ahead. I'm sorry, but this is Manchester United, right? You cannot just choose whenever you want to sort of turn off the tap and turn on the tap and sack the manager because you think that the manager is way, way more demanding. There's so many problems that needs to be fixed. The player power needs to go. And it starts right here, right now in the summer, right? If you know what I mean. Because United, according to my opinion, and hear me out on this analogy, this is the best analogy you can ever hear, right? United is like a broken vinyl record, right? We've been stuck on side A because it got scratched ages ago and nobody's been there to move the needle. Sure, we had managers that tried to move the needle, but the board, the Glazers made sure that we are stuck in repeat over and over again. And that is why we keep hearing the same tune over and over again, and the fans arguing against each other, right? We're stuck in repeat. But isn't it time to flip to the side B, right? So we can start enjoying a flawless experience when everything flows in motion, like this water bottle, right? Everything flows in motion. If you're talking about music, we're talking about the drums, the bass, the guitar, the vocals, they're all being in sync with the perfect composition. A flawless s- music side where you can listen to the end and you can understand what the lyrics is all about. What is the composition? Because sure, as a fans of a rock band or a certain album, you will come back and listen to it over and over again with enjoyment. Isn't that what you want? Right? So, if Ineos is serious of bringing youth to this team, and you know what they've been saying, it's bloody good PR, right? I'm not buying it until I see it in the summer. I'm not buying that you should sack a manager or keep a manager for the sake of it. I'm here because, as a fan base, as a unity, I'm here because we want to be entertained. This is Manchester United we're talking about. We want to see good football. We don't want to see capitulation. We are tired of this. We're tired of waking up on a Sunday or a Monday feeling like we've been robbed. Robbed by who? Robbed by the manager, robbed by the player, robbed by the club. In this instance, robbed by everyone. It's the hopes that kills you. But then at the same time, you better call 911 and pest control to get rid of this poison. Why? Because if you want to sort of bring out youth, and hear me out on this one, this is a serious, serious matter, right? If your plan is to bring in young players into this team, you got to get rid of the poison in the dressing room. Why? Simply put yourself in a work situation. When you go to work, negativity kills the positivity, always wins. There's always somebody that's more senior than you that makes you want to quit, that makes you revert to the negative. And these players in this dressing room, I'm afraid they have the power to influence the youngsters. And the youngsters will look up to the senior players to say, hey, if Rashford does this, or if Shaw does this, or Scott McTominay does this, well, maybe I also can do this and get away with it. We've seen slightly Garnacho reverting into that selfish winger as well. I don't want Kobe Maynard to be influenced like that as well. I don't want any Dan Gore Juniors or anyone that we bring in to be influenced. So therefore, I give you the power. I give you the power to say your say. What do you think needs to be done? Everyone knows what needs to be done. If you want to play a progressive style of football, then you got to swap a lot of those players. We are talking about the centre back position. We're talking about a midfielder, right? We're talking about the winger, left wing, and we're talking about a replacement for Rasmus Højlund, or not a replacement, but a rotational play, right? I want to hear from you guys. Right? This is my say at the end of the day. And there is like 88 of you viewing. So surely 88 of you that's viewing right now has got to have an opinion. I will invite you to the chat, but I want to hear from you. And I've been missing this chat by speaking, right? No cessation news, but at the end of the news is what you will create it, right? The question is, what I'll bring into the second stage of the show, what areas do it needs to be changed and who needs to go and who do we need to bring in? Because we've been linked to a lot of players, and do expect that, right? But with 9 games to play, we got to be strong. We got to be united. And of course, you can have your opinion that you are out. You can have your opinion that you're out. You can have your opinion that you are in. But at the end of the day, guys, we are Manchester United fans. There's nothing we can do to change the manager's decisions or the club's decision or who do we recruit. And this is the common denominator, that we can have a debate. We can have opinions. We can be supporting each other through thick and thin, through rain, through thunderstorm. Whenever the shit hits the fan, we're here. Win, lose, draw. We're here for each other. So big up to all of you. Smash that living like button, because this is a Monday show. So, what do we have here? Let me see. You guys can read each other in the chat. Um, what you're saying, barman tactics. I don't understand from day one this season, mate. A lot of us fans feel like you, confused. We don't understand this season at all, right? If you add it up together, we're still stuck on that needle. We're not moving forward, right? He wants to be transitional, okay, but we cannot hold the goal for 120 seconds. But it down, Bauman, that comes down to the ability of the players and who you trust. And let me just bring in this to your train of thought. Every manager that got sacked trusted Scott McTominay and played him and started him because he's a teacher's pet. He might not be good enough, but he surely follows the instructions, while others are just simply losing their heads, right? They're losing their heads. If you look at the first 90 minutes against Brentford, we got stung by the bees afterwards, but we were stinging them a little bit. We started to play well, but as soon as they laid a glove on us, we crumbled. We crumbled, right? Scott McTominay started. A lot of people pointing at Scott McTominay. We know he's not good enough. We know that he's a bench player, right? And here's where the crux starts, right? You look at that bench, you see Casemiro is on the bench, half injured, not really ready to play. Who do you have to replace him with? Amrabat, who has even getting a sniff, is there to play. What has he done? Not even to get a start when Ten Hag wanted him. There's a lot of things you can actually point fingers at, to be honest. You know what? Jarvis Cocker, what you're saying here. Ten Hag needs to be bold and make some big, big cojones decisions. Brentford performance was unacceptable. And he heads and heads need to roll. And heads needs to roll, yeah. But won't impotent and weak, is that what we need to get? The happy campers keep on. The question is, how much power do you have, to be bold? I've been raising this question. Do you pick the team? Who whispers in your ear? Who's told Ten Hag that you're not allowed to play your style of play? Do you have to play the pragmatic counter-attacking football? Certainly, the people above him, right? You all remember when he said that in the interview. I'm not lying. It's there. He said, "I'm not here to play the United way. I'm here to play I'm not here to play my way. The Ajax way. I'm here to play the United way." That's what he said. And a lot of you got pissed off, rightfully so, because that's what we recruited him for. But I believe that he's got that ability. I believe, certainly. And you can argue to the point again that you will take you 3 seasons to get rid of the bad apples, to actually start players that you can trust. Right now, you don't have players that you can trust, and you don't have players that can play your style of football. So why do you keep sticking to it? Why? Instead of playing to what they know. Again, it comes down to this statement. You should play to their abilities. Simple. But at the same time, we're getting pissed off here. We are back at square one. We see who's tracking back. We see who doesn't really care this season at all. Jogging. Keep on jogging like it's Baywatch. I be ready. By the time you get to tracking back, they already scored and the season is over. So you not be ready. Be ready for heads to be rolling, because we need to put pressure not only on the manager, we need to put pressure on these bloody players as well, right? And the ownership. Put pressure on, Ratcliffe as well. You came out, you made a statement. Now the proof will be in the pudding. What you gonna do about it? The proof will be in the summer, 100%. You know, one swallow doesn't make a season, certainly, but at least it can fly. And how you will fly, that's down to you. The decision is with Ineos at the moment, or Trawlers Limited. Yeah, it's a massive task. It's a massive hangover. It is. It is. Stephanie Griffith, 19 likes. Well, hopefully we can get 100 likes here. But it's not about likes. It's about your likings. It's about what you're thinking. Compost is saying, I thought Ineos had sporting control. Surely they put a stop to this favoritism when they see these lazy melters week in and week out. That is the point. That is us again, Compost, stuck on that side 8 vinyl record, singing the same tune. Ratcliffe and Ineos need to move that needle. They need to move that needle so we can enjoy the rest of the side A and we can flip it to side B as well. I don't want to point fingers here, guys. Mark Singh, massive clear out is needed. Manik Singh, that is all we can hope for. If you can see what I see, then kudos to you. If you can all of a sudden see football from a 360 perspective and not being short-sighted, you got to see longer than your nose, right? But you're not going to be Pinocchio to be lied for, because every time Pinocchio lies, his nose gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? You got to call it out. So big up to you, Manik, as well. 100%. Gary, see what you're saying. And my friend, that performance was scandalous. Doesn't matter what they do in the next game. We know that they always have this kind of sickening display in them. Yeah. So I think that the problem lies within the mentality of certain players who controls the dressing room, right? You guys all been like on a trip together with your mates, you know, when somebody's owing being the party pooper to bring the mood down, right? As what I said, negativity always holds the power over positive. But I'm going to be positive here to say that, you know what? If it can change the hearts and mind of certain players to believe, because we've seen that can do that, you know, I'm not going to point fingers on Captain Bruno. Bruno does what Bruno is supposed to do to be a chance creator. But you need to look at, you cannot play Kobe Maino on a single pivot to count on an 18-year-old who had 21 caps so far in the Premier League. Then you got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to ask the question, why are you not throwing in Amrabat there that is fit? You're not trusting certain players. So, in my opinion, this is going to be interesting, right? In my opinion, it does not make any sense to sack Ten Hag right now. When you know he's got 1 year left on his contract, when you know if you look behind you, who's there, right? Who's going to have a new manager? Liverpool is going to go over a restructure. Who's their manager going to be? Most likely De Zerbi, right? Ange Postecoglou will have his second season, right? So rest assured they're going to be gelling, right? We currently don't have that gel, right? We don't have gel. We are just individual brilliance players.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Gary C. just gifted 0 memberships.
Oh, Gary was just become a member. Big up.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Gary C. gifted Box a membership.
Oh my God, Gary C, you just gifted 5 memberships. Big up to you. Sorry, that was
shit.
Alan was
again.
gifted a membership.
Gary C.
Box
gifted
was
Alan a
gifted,
membership.
Jonathan Borg was gifted, and who else? Dave 147 was gifted a membership as well. So
Shit.
big up to
Here we
you,
go
man.
again.
Big up
Gary
so
C.
much,
gifted
Gary
Jonathan
C, for
Borg a
gifting
membership.
Massive tap on the back for Gary C.
Listen.
Shit.
Here we go again.
Gary C. gifted Dav 147 a membership.
Yeah. All right. Here we go again. The automation is kicking in. Sorry about that. You're gonna hear this. You're gonna hear this.
Gary C. gifted Darren Young a membership.
Darren Young was gifted a membership. Anyway,
shit.
ignore this.
Here we
This
go
Bella
again.
going on there in the background. Bella, stop it now. All right. Anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. It's automation, people. I lost my train of thought. But
shit.
listen,
Here we go again.
Bella, stop it now. All right. Right. So sorry about that one. It's embarrassing, but it's a alert. It's alert. Let me just stop this one so I don't have this. Oh shit. Here we go again. How do I do this? Oh, anyway, it's gone. Big up, Gary C. You're a legend. You are definitely a legend. Guys, let's move on to the show as well, because I think I had my say. Guys, if you want to come in and talk to me, of course, you will have the opportunity. I will paste the link in the chat as well. Come and talk to me. It's all about you. I'm going to paste this as a boom You come in and talk to me right here, right now, if you want to have your say. And I'm sorry if I do not catch up with every one of you. It's just me reflecting over, being the voice of reasoning, which you guys deserve to hear. Here is the link anyway. But I want to sort of engage with you right now in the second part of the show is to what areas in that case, do you want us to get rid of and who we should bring in, you know? Forget about all the paper talks, what we've been saying, but let's start with the clear and obvious, right? If we sort of marry what I've been saying, again, depends on what kind of style you want to play, right? If it's a counter-attacking football, then you definitely need to look at the wing, especially the left wing. Without no agendas, if you get offers for Rashford, will you take it? 100%. Because in my opinion, Rashford has reached his peak and can only play by muscle memory counter-attacking football. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of even having this debate. So let me know in the chat what you think here right now. Left wing. Do you reckon Rashford should go? And in which case, do we need a replacement or do we have enough wingers? Talking about Garnacho playing on the left, still we have a lot of wingers on the right as well that can play for that position. We're talking about Ahmad, we're talking about Garnacho, XYZ, but Garnacho should be playing at the left. Yeah, I'm tired of wingers that are inverted. I want wingers that could actually challenge the fullback to make them second guess what he's going to do now that can actually cross the ball. We cannot live on feeding the striker scraps, right? We cannot live on individual brilliance of ego that, yeah, I will be the match winner here. I will score. I will cut in and I will shoot. Enough. Team sport is what football is all about. If you want to be an individual player, play golf or play tennis. That's my opinion. Let me see. Let me see what you guys are saying. And dumb. Yeah. Yeah, of course, new medical stuff. I agree with you, Barman, 100%. Alan is here as well. Box, what you saying? Yeah, what is so many of you? Let me just scroll off the chat. We do have Greenwood. I agree with you. No FFP issues there. I know. There's so many things to unpack and so many knots to unknot. And I saying that do have a headache to solve. Not even a Panadol is going to help them right now. But we do have 9 games to play, Evo. And I do believe from a footballing perspective, yeah, Greenwood is such a talent. But I'm afraid that they're just going to look at it and they're going to sell it because of pure profit instead of footballing abilities. And for me, I've seen enough of Rashford. So for me, it will be out the door. Enough is enough. No agendas. But I look what's better from the team from a balancing perspective right now. You remember this water bottle is balance. It's balance, right? If Ten Hag is supposed to be the manager, Ten Hag should be able to choose and play with what he's got, right? This is the squad currently. But anyway, guys, that's it. Like, let me know. Okay, selfish winger, what you're saying here. Our selfish winger can't barely beat a man to the usual dead off shot. Yeah, dude, that's true. So you see what I'm trying to do. This is an exercise for you to think, right? As what I said, we are not the one that recruits this team or decides on the summer transfer window. We are not the ones that pick the team either to play week in and week out, but we do have a voice and we see football from different pair of spectacles, don't we? Right? We know what needs to be done. And this is the engagement what we're having today. So I want to hear from you. Rashford in or Rashford out? Smash a 1 if you think that Rashford should be replaced, or 2 to keep him. Right, let's do this, people. I give you 20 seconds. 1, 2. A 1 for Rashford in or 2 for Rashford out. I don't see you guys engaging. Come on, let's do this. 20 seconds. No. Right. Yeah, here we go. Finally. Alan is saying Rashford out. Danny B is saying out. Nobody else is going here other than you say Vlahovic, Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, Rashford in. What you saying, Barman? Yeah, be dying to hear why you think Rashford is in. We have callers in the backstage waiting to come in. If you have camera, gentlemen, please switch it on. It's much more nicer experience if you have camera on instead of watching a dead end screen. 94 watching, smash that like button. Two, what mental ball game is saying, and mental ball game is actually in the green room to explain himself why number two. um all right, guys, gentlemen, if you are in the green room, switch your cameras on. Don't be afraid. It is, look at me, I'm ugly as fuck, but still I'm talking on this Monday. The day after hangover, stuff like that. Still, Sajiv, how you doing? Sajiv, are you there? Do you have your camera on? Can you hear me, Sajiv? All right, let me switch on to Sajiv. Sajiv, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yes,
there.
there
I'm there.
he is. Big up,
We can hear
Sajiv.
you. We can hear you nice and proper clear today.
Yeah, mental ball game as well. Are you there? Mental ball game. Mental ball game
Yep, I'm here, man. I'm here.
without any camera. Are you afraid?
Yeah, I'm very afraid, man. I'm afraid to being identified as a United supporter these days, let alone turn on the
Fuck
camera and show
off.
my face.
Oh my god. That was
No,
a
no, no,
punch in the
mate.
nuts, wasn't it?
I mean, Rashford. Yes, I want him out, but I want to focus on Ten Hag more now, man. I've been trying to back this guy for so long,
Yep.
but I don't see anything in the game to back him. I don't see in-game management. I don't see any tactics. I don't see any plan. And I was wondering after the game this weekend that why is he not able to do that? And while I was thinking that, I made a list of the players that he has brought. Right?
Right.
He's brought Onana, Licha, Malasia,
Mm-hmm.
Mount,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, Casemiro, Amrabat, Mainu, Garnacho, Holland. These are all his players, right? Either
That's
he's
his
brought
place.
them from the academy or on loan or he's bought them.
Spot on.
So we can't say that he hasn't got his players to implement his system, right?
Yep.
So
Okay.
he should be able to put a stamp on the team in the 2 years that he's been here, but we don't see any of that.
Don't you think that you need another year to fully overhaul, right? As what you said, these are the players that you bought and brought in for a certain style of play. The remaining of the players, what I've been saying in this video, don't even know because they have this muscle memory to be pragmatic and get away with murder because they've been protected by the club, right? So my question to you then and to Sajiv here, right? Sir Ineos, what the fuck am I saying, Sir Ineos? Ratcliffe, right? Come in with promises to say it's not the manager's fault. We need a complete overhaul from top to bottom. But if you, for some reason, saying that if you're being given this summer to clear out the deadwood and actually fill up with the players that do want to play his style, that do want to listen, don't you think, Kenny, and mental ball game, that you will see a different style of football
I we
realistically?
yes, we might, and that's why I am
You
not
probably.
100% Ten Hag out at the moment, because I still think that he can put something out on the field that we can appreciate, but he hasn't done that at all, and that's what has me worried right now, that we don't
Yeah.
see any playing style. I can
Okay.
understand that one or two players are not playing his way.
Thank
That's
you.
fine. I mean, if Rashford is not playing his way, he can take him out. I understand that Rashford has got those moments
Okay.
of
Okay.
quality.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Park that thought, and I'm going to go to Sajiv there. Good morning. Good afternoon, Sajiv in
Good
Sydney.
evening there.
Do you agree
Good
what
evening.
mental ball game is saying here? Because I have a theory. The minute he said, "I'm not here to play Ajax way. I'm here to play United way," he's been told. He's been told certain players you have to play Rashford, you have to play McTominay, you have to play these assets, and you have to play what we're telling you to play, right? So
I
don't you think
think.
that he's thinking,
Yeah.
fuck
Mhm.
me, I just get by to this summer. I play haram football, survival football right now with everything that's been going on. And hopefully I will get backed because suddenly I will have people that understand what the fuck I want and they are on the same page. In the pressers, he's been talking that you cannot do this alone. This is the biggest club in the world and everyone needs to be on the same page.
Honestly, Mick, I'm very tired, very drained about blaming the place, blaming Ten Hag for like literally all this, for like all these situations that has been happening for for this whole season. So for me, I've literally just enjoyed my day. I've just enjoyed my April Fool's Day. So,
Yeah,
so I'm just here for like pure vibes, isn't it? I'm
yeah,
just literally here for the pure, just for the pure therapy.
yeah.
Um,
When you're not going to get negatives, you're getting a balanced approach here. We're presenting you with plausible actions and solutions, right? As I said, a win is a win. The sense you're euphoric, right? A draw can sometimes feel like a loss, right? But when you draw, it's still 1 point. But it's the matter of how you drew that game, right? If you all of a sudden would have played toe to toe football and you played City and you got a draw, you'd be happy, right? But this is Brentford we're talking about, and this is the
Brentford, yeah.
way we set up and play, which is not acceptable, which pisses most of us off. Even if you go 1-0 up, Mason Mount scored that goal, you got to question what the hell happened after. Took them 2 minutes to score equalizer. But if we had won this 1-0 game, I would still be critical, to be honest, to say that was not a good performance, right? So big up. Um,
Can I
what
can I
what you?
just respond to you saying
Yeah,
that he's
yeah,
been told that he needs to play those players? If
sure.
he's been told that he needs to play those players and play a certain style and he's agreed to it, then that's all the more reason to get rid of him.
Yeah, all
Because
right
if
then.
if he's agreed to what the owners are telling him and he's changed his playing style and he's choosing players based on what owners are telling him,
Yeah,
then
big
we
up.
definitely need to get rid of him. We need a
100%.
manager who doesn't
100%.
listen to all that bullshit.
100%. Listen, I have another guest in the green room waiting to come in all the way from Gothenburg, Sweden. We're talking about Thomas. Thomas,
How you doing?
happy Easter to you still. Happy Easter Monday. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. How you guys doing?
Well,
I'm doing pretty
reflecting,
good. Doing good.
Yeah.
reflecting,
Yeah,
reflecting.
just like pure, very pure therapy.
Yeah. Real therapy. I mean, as I said, like, we for 10 years we've been playing side A vinyl record and been stopped because the needle doesn't want to move. So what
Yeah.
I'm saying here right now, we know what the problem is, and we need to move that needle, or so we can play a flawless style of music to hear the whole composition where everything is flowing. And the only way
Yeah.
to do that is to flip that to the B side as well, to have a perfect composition. As a fan, you want to sort of enjoy, you want to understand what the lyrics is all about, which means that you want to
Hmm.
understand what kind of football style of football you want to play, isn't it? So I'm just trying to say, be cool and composed, ladies and gents, because buckle up. There's 9 games left to play, and you know what? I certainly hope that we can be able to flip to the B side in the summer
Yeah.
and put pressure on. It's not only putting the pressure on the manager, put the pressure on the players, but also the ownership at the moment. So, what's your thoughts, Thomas? We spoke about getting Rashford out potentially. And the reason per
Yeah.
se, there's a method to the madness. You look at Spurs; they got rid of
Hmm.
Harry Kane, and all of a sudden they start to play like a fucking team, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be hard to get rid of Rashford since he signed a new deal. But we should definitely get in another winger then to challenge him because he
Yeah,
needs to be put in his place and he needs to get a reality check. He needs to get
For
somebody
real.
that can challenge
yeah,
for his place because and that's also Ineos. Ineos has to deal with that because they have to do drastic changes in the club for to make it work. It's not just they have to change several different things at the same time basically. So it's
yeah.
not just it's not
Oh,
just one thing they have to change.
it's certainly not like a switch of a light bulb like that. It ain't gonna happen
No.
overnight. True, but that's why we got to be realistic, and that's why we are realist TV. Um,
Yeah.
again, mental ball game. You hear Sajid is here, the VR room. Big up. Thank you for engaging with us, but it's not sustainable if you count that Brentford had 31 shots on us.
Yeah. I
It
was
is
shocked. I was
not the
shocked.
first time. And I ironically made a reaction video to say that 31 shots in Belfast, I'm talking about tequila shots, it's more beneficial than having 31 shots against Brentford.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right?
was so shocked in that game. Uh, but then again, these players, it's not the first time that this has happened to us. Um, if you look
Yeah.
at the last several seasons, this is what the players been doing. Also, of course, Ten Hag also has to take blame for the performance since
Hmm.
he's the captain. And you and me were discussing it pre-game
We did,
that
yes.
he needs to look out for the midfield since they're gonna rush the midfield, and that exactly what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly that happened,
Yeah. And
and he
that's the
didn't really
stubbornness.
do
I mean,
anything.
Thomas, isn't it the stubbornness that you played exactly the lineup that you used against Liverpool, and you expected same results? But if you look at
Yeah,
Thomas Frank, how he lined up, three in the back, four in the midfield, that is advantage them, and that's what I say. You're playing with 9 men all season. If you keep picking certain players like McTominay to start,
yeah,
Rashford to start, that's you already down to 9 players, right?
Nine
Because they
players
yeah,
don't
already.
track back. They don't track back. One is caught ball watching. In numerous occasions, I'm not kidding, right? When he's stuck at the opposition's half because he's been told to play high up on the pitch as a false number 9 instead of midfielder, right?
yeah,
And that leaves you very exposed. And you can see that Van Bissaka in this game was absolutely having a shit game because he was told to tuck in and support Kobe Main in the midfield, which left him very confused, right?
yeah,
So all of a sudden
yeah,
you have that open midfield again and getting overrun. And they got a
yeah,
sniff of that and they kept exploiting that and then exploiting. And Kenny, the set pieces was the same
Yeah.
combinations over and over again, and we didn't address it. Same
no.
True.
combinations.
Same thing.
Right.
I don't know if anyone, like any player, is telling him like we can't play like this because it's not working. And I mean, if I was McTominay and my manager told me, yeah, but you have to go up in the box, you have to go up in the box,
But here's
I
what
would just stop doing that. I would just stop doing that
yeah,
because
but here's what
defense is fundamental in the sport.
yeah,
You,
true. But here is where we are contradicting ourselves. Liverpool, they were told the
yeah,
exact same thing. They executed it to the flawless plan. I was looking at McTominay. I said, that's a very professional McTominay. Is that McTominay on the field? Right?
yeah,
Doing flips, being press resistant and everything. And then how the fuck can you come to Brentford and just being pragmatic?
Log around and all.
Like,
Yeah.
no, it's the same thing. Money is the problem, right? These individuals, they get weekly wages, they're going to get paid no matter what, win, lose, draw, they're going to get paid, right?
yeah.
And they're going to look at the manager to say, well, whatever, you're going to be more replaceable than we are because we are a collective squad that's worth about
That's fully.
950 billion or million, but your
Yeah,
to sack you is going to cost 5 million plus your backroom stuff and we win again. That's fucking got to stop, mate. Right.
No,
yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
Right.
I
So
agree, and I see Mark making that point that we can't keep blaming managers over and over again, and I agree with you, Mark. We can't keep blaming the managers, but when the manager is not using the players that he has at his disposal correctly, we have to blame him, right? He was the one who wanted to get Amrabat. He was the one who really wanted Amrabat, and now he's the one who's not using it. So
yeah,
what's the
and
point of getting that player?
he wanted
I don't know.
Anthony as well.
Sorry, Mick. You can go ahead.
And he wanted Anthony. He's not even using Anthony.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all make mistakes, gentlemen, and that's life. You make mistakes in life, but the most powerful thing in life is to put your hand up to say I was wrong.
yeah.
And we can
But
forgive you.
maybe it's such a mess in our club that
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
Maybe the infection has gone so far that you have to basically clear everything that's
That's why you call
infected.
911.
Yeah,
That's what you call
maybe
pest
you
control.
like, yeah, the antibiotics need to go in immediately and you
I
need
have
to clear all the shit.
antibiotics.
Yeah.
True that.
No, but it might be like that because there's been so many things for so many years that it doesn't matter who we get. I don't even
Yeah.
think no manager can come in and
Yeah.
fix it.
No, no, no. We had managers that tried. Come on.
Yeah,
You had like at least Louis van Gaal was boring, pragmatic, but at least we saw something that he tried to do. Jose
yeah,
Mourinho was just a shit stir. He tried to call out the Glazers and the ownership by just throwing his toys out the pram. But guess what happened? They sacked him. Then you have Ollie that was happy-go-lucky, like was just a yes man to. He was just happy to have
Yes,
the
man.
job, right?
Yeah.
Happy
yeah,
camper, right? Happy camper. And then you have Ralph Ragnick that actually called him out and offered consultancy, but the club got rid of him. That was the only man that spoke the truth. And now Ten Hag is here, in his way, calling things out, and he's also protecting his players. He's not that manager that will fucking throw players under the bus. But what he said again after Brentford, he said that he acknowledged they were a better team, and he, in a way, indirect way, he's calling certain players out. So what I'm saying here, right here, 9 games to play, man. How do you save yourselves? How do you save Manchester United season? And how do you then impress the current establishment to keep your job? This is what it's all about. This title, right?
mm,
Certainly, you cannot pick the same fucking team that you have the result in front of you from previous managers that they will get you sacked, right?
yeah.
And this is what scratches my head, right? My volume is too low. Can't hear you. Oh, my
Be-
volume is too low. Is it too low? Can you hear me?
No, we hear
No,
you
it
fine.
seems it
Yeah,
seems
All
fine.
yeah,
right,
we
all
hear
right,
you.
all right, all right, all right. Anyway,
Um,
in your opinion, guys, we midfield, right? Casemiro staying,
yeah,
leaving.
Casemiro definitely. I,
Yeah,
I think I think if we doesn't get anyone that's better than him, or at least to his level, he has to stay,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah,
If we
right.
if we get a good offer from Saudi, I think we should let him go, but not for 5-10 millions. If we recover good portion of the cost that we've spent on him, and we find a replacement with that money, then I think we should let him go.
Yeah, but then mental ball game and everyone. It depends on what style of play you want to
Um,
play, right? If you all of a sudden want to play like high possession, high press football, possession based football, you need better midfielders that can handle the ball.
But
but
that's the point. We don't know what style of play we want to play because
Yeah,
the
exactly.
manager hasn't shown us anything.
Mm.
but that
Don't you
the
don't you think that he's
Casemiro's
wait? Yeah,
oh sorry
sorry.
man.
Don't you think that he's waiting for the instructions of the new establishment, what kind of style and X Y Z until he can implement it? It's all
Well,
about getting by.
that's that's a weak manager then, Mick. If he's waiting for the upper management to tell him what style of play to play, then that's a weak manager. He
Well,
needs to have his style of play and implement it.
well,
That's what
But
a
I
Michael
think
conflict
Hogan, would
that
you
I
go to
think
forget
your
he
boss?
knows.
Would you go to your CEO and to say "fuck off"? I'm playing my way. You will get sacked,
yeah,
right?
that's
I think
fine.
You
I
fall in
think he
That's
command,
knows
that's
what he
fine.
wants, how he wants to play. I don't
but it's not
doubt
like
that
that.
Eric Ten Hag know how he wants to play. It's just that his players, the players he has right now, they are not capable of doing that. How many
Yep,
managers' styles of play have we gone through?
yep, yep,
Yeah,
How
exactly.
many?
Exactly.
yep.
And Mick, you're saying that if he does that, he gets sacked. But what are we doing right now? We are discussing whether he should be sacked or not. So he's getting sacked either way. If he
Yeah.
decides to play a style of play that he doesn't know how to implement, he's
Or
getting the sack anyways.
or they lied to him. They said, no matter what
Yeah,
happens, we're gonna stick to you. We're gonna stick with you, and we will address it in the
yeah,
summer. We're gonna discuss the plans, the way we want to play. We're gonna recruit the players that fit your system and our system, the way we want to play, and just see this one out. There's
yeah.
so many questions. Philip, big up man. Eric Ten Hag wanted McGuire, Martial gone. Mick the Glazers said no. We struggle to sell players because they have massive high wages, big long
Well done, man.
contracts tied to marketing deals, image rights, etc.
I
Exactly,
agree with you. That's
exactly.
that's the main
So
shit
what's the
point.
point? more than having a therapy session to say, like, look, we need to move that needle. As I said, it's, you
Yeah.
guys, you grew up with vinyl records sometimes, or at least when that needle gets stuck, it gets a chuk, 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 and this is where we've been stuck. We need to somebody to push that needle so we can finish the composition.
Finish it.
My
Yep.
argument is you got to let the manager, at least one manager, since we sacked Louis van Gaal, or since Sir Alex Ferguson, to complete his full 3 years tenures. We haven't. Can you let that sink in, that we haven't had one single manager completing his 3 years overhaul?
That's crazy. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
that
true.
is
That
that
is
is
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
That is so
Batshit
true.
Yeah.
crazy. And then, excuse me for saying that, we are the most criticized club because everyone pays attention to United. Nobody pays attention to what Chelsea's doing at the moment. Absolutely dog shit, right? Arteta, again, 2 seasons, eight he finished.
Yeah.
Third season, he got rid of these deadwood that he didn't want it.
Aubameyang and all.
A
Yeah.
Klopp also
bam
was
young.
like
Yeah, Klopp
on
as
the
well.
lower. Yeah.
Yeah. So again,
And
my point is that as a fan base, we've been stuck on the same record, right? And what I'm trying to say, that we always look at paper of the cracks, the duct tape. To sack a manager will solve your personal needs problem. To sack X, Y, a player that you don't like, that you think is shit, will make your ego feel better, right? But if you look at the in general overall team as a performance, is a collective thing. You got to support the club, you got to support the team. But if your manager out, the manager in, where is this going to leave us? I'm
Mhm.
more excited to see. Fuck me. Let me see what these fuckers can do, right? They promised us the
Yeah.
world right now. They promised us
Yeah.
to do an overhaul above the manager and build from belief. So we got to have patience here to see. Fine. Realistically, this season is a miracle where we're sitting sixth and we're staring at to make top five or top four. Mathematical, it's possible, right?
They've been
But
talking big game. They've been talking big game since he got those shares, and we need,
now it's
as a collective, we need to put pressure on them.
so what are you
yeah,
saying here?
yeah.
What do you say? Not just
And not in
talk.
Ineos,
Not
Ineos,
yeah. But what you're saying here, Thomas, is not just doing the talk to talk, but talk to do the walk. What was the
yeah,
say? Walk the talk
Talk the talk, then walk the
talk the
walk.
talk.
and
Yeah.
walk the walk. Yeah, and that's where the pressure is, guys. So the point of this stream today is to say that as community, as fans, we have to put pressure on everyone, not only manager, but player, but ownership as well, right?
Yeah.
25% Ineos, 75% Glazers. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until we see
Yeah.
something in the summer that makes us believe differently.
And
Hopefully,
can
Until
I?
then,
when Borada comes in,
yeah,
he's gonna have a serious talk, and it's things are going to change. I'm more
yeah,
excited about reading uh, articles or stuff that comes out with, oh, this new coach, or this is the new guy that they brought in as a
mm,
CEO and stuff like. That's more exciting to me than, oh, this might be Casemiro's replacement. I
yeah.
don't care about player transfers now.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so let's just scrap that because I put here midfielder. We need another midfielder because I don't, we need to have support for Kobe Maynard. Come on.
Yeah.
I would like to see Kobe Maynard develop as a number eight. That's my opinion.
Yeah, the CDM position has been neglected for like
Yeah,
since Carrick
yeah,
left.
100%. Yeah. Now, we are running a little bit of our time, so do respect people. There's like 120 of you watching right now on all platforms. If you can be so generous to give us the thumbs up like button, please do so right here, right now, because we love you if you do, because it really helps this channel and this video. Now I'm going to talk to you about left back position and the uncertainty. And hear my point. Hear me out. um, I'm not sure what's happening with Malaysia. We're going to talk about this tonight in Jarvis Corner's podcast. But Luke Shaw has got to go.
Luke
Right?
Shaw needs
I
to
know
go.
Yeah,
Luke Shaw is one of the best left backs in Europe when he's fit, but the amount of time he's available, it's not worth keeping. and on 260k a week.
No,
Your
it's
thoughts?
not worth it.
Go around the room.
I mean, him and Rashford should go as a package if they
Yeah,
they should
It's
include
a
them as a
package.
package.
Buy one
Because
get one for
Rashford,
free.
yeah, they can't play. They only can. He can only play when he gets overlap, basically,
Yeah,
from Luke
true.
Shaw. So they should go as a package
Yeah. Do you
and
agree,
throw.
Sajiv? Sajiv,
I
buy one
yeah,
get one
yeah,
for free.
yeah. For me, absolutely. We have to get off. We have to get rid of Lucho. It's
Yeah.
been a long,
MBG,
long, long.
MBG. Do you agree that they are like Siamese twins,
Y-
inseparable?
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting rid of Luke Shaw as long as we're getting a replacement, a good enough replacement and a backup, either getting coming back from loan like Alvaro Fernandez, or
Yeah.
we bring someone from the academy.
Alvaro Fernandez, or for somebody from academy, like you
Yeah,
have
Harry Amas.
Harry Amas as well.
Yeah.
Academy's been promoted as well, so you still have players. Centre back again. It hurts me to say I love Rafael Varane and I want him to stay because he's been with him and Evans this season. They've been amazing. Any updates regarding his injury or was his precaution? And in that case, we've been linked to Bremer. We've been linked to Brentwaite.
Juventus player.
Hmm?
Juventus player. Centre back.
Yeah, I see more of a Bremer. There is no smoke without fire, being the Casemiro replacement with experience. Of course, he's 26, 27. But if you're going to go with the experienced centre back, you need experience. You can't just buy a 20-year-old for 100 mil, which is called Brentwood.
Yeah.
Uh,
True. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
exaggerating.
Yeah. All right. So there's two centre backs that we need, 100%. And it don't matter for you if it's Lindelof or Maguire or
Well,
I don't know. Maguire has been playing well lately, but I know he's not. He's none of them are the type of you can't really play a high line with any of them.
that's my point. That's what I wanted to come to because it's all determined on what kind of style of play you want. If you're going to play a high line, high press, you cannot play with Lindelof or Maguire. They need to go 100%, right?
Yeah,
Rafael Varane can do it, Leach can do it, but you need
yeah,
to have two more centre backs that can also do it, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I would personally get two new centre backs. Keep
Yeah.
Lindelof, Evans, and Willy Kamwala as backups, and have Licha starting with one of the
Yeah.
new ones, and then have four backups. I would get
I
rid of
agree with
Maguire because Maguire has still got
Yeah.
some value in the market right now. We can get
The
some money out of it, out of
No, big
Maguire.
up. I agree. And the reason why I also mentioned Luke
Facts.
Shaw because he's been part of the problem of the leaking problem. S- he's been there since what? Even Jose Mourinho called him
Van
up to
Gaal,
stay.
right?
Yeah,
Van
yeah,
Gaal.
yeah, yeah. Dewsbury Hall, what Lucky Singh is saying. Todiboy Vlahovic. I don't rate Vlahovic. I do rate Dewsbury Hall. Um, but
Ruby was decent player. Decent player.
if we're gonna look at a left back, it's gotta be somebody that's good on defense and good bombing forward as well, and put crosses in.
Both. Both.
So depends on the style of play. Um, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up by looking at the striker position. We spoke about the midfield needs to be ball playing midfield, 100%,
Both playing
right?
midfielders. Yeah.
Ball playing midfield. That changed the trajectory, 100%. Strikers, we still have Hoyland. We know that Martial is leaving, 100%. He's
Marshall is
gone.
going.
He's
He's
finished. So
bye.
that means that you will have money to spend because of his wages. I don't believe we're going to go for more of a experienced striker, Ivan Tonys and stuff like that. I think it will be a Benjamin Sesko or Xerxes, somebody that could challenge the
Oh,
number one striker.
Yeah, I don't.
yeah.
I'm not good at strikers, but I don't know. Man. Cisco seems all right. He seems like a good option at
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
We need like two more strikers or something like that. So
yeah. Okay.
Sesko looks really good, but I would go for an experienced one for 1 year as well. If we can get Olivier Giroud somehow for one season, I'll be happy with that. He'll be the experienced option. He's won things.
All right.
the
Oliver
the
Giroud is
ma- the
available.
problem is that Premier League is such a high level league. So it's like it's really hard when you
I
see
don't think. I
strikers and
don't.
players from other leagues and they come to Premier League and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. But Oliver Giroud, if you go
I
for that,
honestly, I
take it.
honestly don't feel like I don't feel like Giroud coming back to the Premier League. He will be able to actually cope up with the pace of the league as much as I honestly would love to see Olivier Giroud,
Okay.
but I don't think he will be able to cope up.
He's again. Then we are going back to the old, right? We are going
Exactly.
back by
Pretty
paper
much,
over
yeah.
the crack again, the duct tape, only for one season. We've seen this. We've seen this before. Uncle Iggy, Igalo. We've seen this with Weghurst. We've seen this. Come on,
Weghorst,
man. We
yeah.
need to move on from there,
No,
right?
no, no, Mick. But we'd be going back to old ways if we were bringing Giroud to start. If we bring Sesko and Giroud, we want Hoyland
Wow,
and
I don't mind.
Sesko to start 90% of the
Wow, I don't
games.
mind if you
Two
get a
strikers is
Giroud
fine.
for free. You get two
Yeah,
strikers, one for free, a more experienced, and one younger that you can bank on for the future and develop for 4 or 5 years to come. And you say as a stopgap, you can have a Giroud, 100%. But if you're talking about stopgap in the midfield, there's one player that everyone has been talking about and never seems to go away, and that is actually somebody that I do rate at Juve, and that is, forgive me,
Rabiot.
this Rabiot, right? What
Rabiot.
a player he is! What an engine, right?
Yeah.
Runner. So we need runners, 100%. So we can talk to the blue in the face about strikers, but if you don't have a midfield as a combative midfield or wingers that can support and cross balls, there's no point of even having this striker discussion, right?
yeah, the
Realistically,
midfield is his priority.
midfield should be a
The
priority. And how do
midfield
you
and
bench?
the center backs, I think
Yeah.
it's a priority.
And
I
how?
I
Sorry,
agree
man.
with you. I agree with you, Mick, that Rabiot is a very good player, but I don't think he's at an age where he'll be looking for a stopgap
Yeah,
contract. I think
probably,
he'll be
probably,
looking for a
probably.
last big contract.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, 31 likes, people. Thank you, Stephanie, for keeping the count as well. Thank you so much. There's about 120 of you watching, so please give us a little bit of a cheeky like. So we can actually come in, and Mark is just pulled up. But I want to say one thing before Mark comes in with his analysis as well. Um, the thing is, what I was saying about the defense needs to be sorted as well. We cannot have 31 shots on us, or 50 shots even. Somebody's got some
Mark, go
feedback.
on mute.
Yeah, Mark, mute yourself. All right. Anyway, Mark, welcome to the stage. What do you have to say, my brother? Oh, he just disappeared.
Big up, guys. What's up? What's up?
Yeah,
I'm
What's good?
we're
just
just about to
chilling,
wrap up the
chilling.
stream, my friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just like happy to to watch the stream. I think a lot of you have really good opinions on and
Did
what
he
we need to
freeze?
change because at the end of the day, it was a disappointing performance on. Huh? It was a
Yeah, you're
disappointing
right. You're good. You're
performance
good.
all the way around. The manager and all has to take to hold one. The players have to hold one. We didn't expect this. And to be fair, it's like it's kind of hard not to expect the manager to expect these players to show up the way they showed up against Liverpool. I mean, look how they performed. So trusting them in the next game seems kind of easy. You know what I mean? I think most managers have that same attitude. You know what I mean? Unless you have like a really deep squad where the like for like replacements are just as capable as the starters, like a Pep. You know what I mean? If you look at
Yep.
the game with Arsenal yesterday, it's more like the same from the last game they played against Arsenal the first time. A dross watch, not really much entertaining. They do the same things over and over, regardless if they were achieving success or not. And the game ended in a nil-nil draw. Like, who would have expected that? You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
So
Stay with me because I want to wrap up the stream. You guys been amazing, by the way. Everyone that's been calling in, expressing your opinions. But what do you you are one of my panelists, Mark, and you always been the most positive. We're here for positive and negatives, right? So where do you go from here? You've been listening to the stream. You understand that I come from a 360 perspective. You know, what I said here depends on what kind of football you want to play. So if you want to be the Manchester United pragmatic counter-attacking, then it makes sense to keep those players and the problem will still be the same. But if you want to advance and move it to the vinyl side B, then you have to get rid of the scratch, repair the scratch, and recruit within. Where do you stand?
Yeah, get them out of here. You know what I mean? Like, listen, as a fan, there's always going to be some players close to your heart. Regardless if you're a Manchester United club fan first before you like the players. And it's nothing's wrong with having favorite players in a squad. Everyone will have one.
No, no,
It
no,
might
no.
not, e-
Everyone can have
you know,
favorites. 100%.
but
Everyone
it's
has favorites.
true, and I
Yeah.
do as well. But it's about time that these guys, yeah, we start moving on a meritocracy. And if we look back, we might as well be sacking another manager based largely on the performance of players for yet another 18 months again. And this is what, the fifth time in a row. Are we going to continue this for the same players, really? Because if you look back to 3, 4 managers, we pretty much have at least 7 to 9 faces that been here throughout that same time,
Yeah.
guaranteed. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, our manager has some players that play for him, some players from that was before that are playing for him now, players that he brought in that are playing for him. But I would like to see what he could do with 5 to 6, maybe 4 new additions. Let's get 5 or 6 players
Yeah.
out. We know Martial is already leaving. Ericsson is probably leaving as well. Amrabat is probably not going to be kept, so that's already 3 players that's gone. So if
Yeah.
we could sell, let's say, 3 players from the starting 11 that maybe
That
have
wasn't
been here
his.
for more than five
Yeah.
seasons, that wasn't his, and get 3 to 4 players or 3 players purchased that come in that could do a job, and then you could also look at the fact that you have players coming in back
Okay.
from loan that supplements the squad, with that experience like
Right.
Alvaro Fernandez, etc.
Appreciate that was your 911 call as per this thumbnail. So you had your say there. That's what you would do. I will move on before we close the stage. I go to Sajiv as well. Sajiv, what is your 911 call?
Uh, 911 call is basically, um, I mean, I can't absolutely wait for the summer. In my honest opinion, I I don't have much expectations towards the end of the season for now. But as much as I want to be really optimistic about getting to Champions League or possibly getting another silverware, so we and then we have to see what really Ineos can do when they come over in the summer.
Okay.
Possibly Dan Ashford or Omar coming in. Let's
Okay.
see. Let's see in the summer probably.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you. That was your 911 distress call. Um,
That's
I will finish it with Thomas last, but I will go to MBG mental ball game. Dude, if you had a phone call right now and calling 911 and United picked up, what would you say?
I would say there's a club that's in need of a CPR for the last decade, and no one's providing its CPR. So it's time for the defibrillator now. Just get the electric shock, give an electric shock to this club, man. Get a structure put in place for the new manager. Not a new manager.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want, to be honest, I want to put on record, I don't want Ten Hag sacked. I want him to see out the next season as well with a proper structure in place. And I totally agree with Mark. As he said, give him 3 or 4 new players and let's see what he can do. If he fails,
Yeah.
then let's get rid of him. But
Yeah.
yeah, we need
Cool.
CPR, team defibrillator, electric shock, everything for this club right now because
Cool.
this club is
All
dying.
right. All right. Um, true. Now, this is what I love about this therapy session, right? It's all about opinions, and gives you a little bit of a voice of reason at the end of the day. As deluded before, we are not the KPI holders of the club. We are not the one that recruits or sets the budgets or are responsible for FFP, but we are the fans. We are the consumers of this game, and we are consumers. And as consumers, if I'm a business owner, all I care is about my customers. The brand is, I want to have repeat business. I want, my customers to be happy and keep coming back, right? And it's like a record. You can compose a beautiful record, and it could be a composition that you understand the lyrics. Not everyone is going to agree what the lyrics is all about, but at the same time, you understand the music, right? Thomas, what is your thought? If you had a one phone call, 991, and same, it ends up at Kathy at reception, what would you say?
I would say, uh, what the hell is going on? No, but I would say Get the director of football ASAP. Just get him.
Yeah.
Get the medical team sorted out. Go and look for the top coaches in the world, and just do that and take care of the players and the manager afterwards. Because that's the we need to get the fundamentals going before we
Right.
can do anything. Let the players think they're comfortable and all of that, but we need to get the best coaches, the best medical
Yes.
staff, the best personnel.
Beautiful.
That's
Thank
that's
you.
what I would want.
Thank you. Well, somebody just called 911, and that's Angie, one of our lovely moderators, gifted 10 memberships.
Shout out to NG.
Big up. Shout out
Shout out.
Angie for doing so. And guess what? Her 911 call led to the Bacon Buddy was gifted a membership. Welsh Girl 68 was gifted a membership. And Timmy also gifted a membership. DJ Superfly also a membership gifted. And Alan McBee was also gifted a membership. Admiral Drexy, my God, one of our panelists coming here sometime also was gifted a membership, and NXT gifted a membership, and Marcin Wiskovty was also gifted a membership. Sorry if I'm slaughtering your name there. And Captain Bart gifted a membership. And who else? Was that it? Or did I miss anyone? Yes, Trim was gifted a membership as well. Big up Trim for Norway. And that is a bloody positive note to finish the stream. Thank you, Angie. You're a legend. Thank you, everyone, for gifting a membership, for coming in and have a say. And I echo what you're saying, guys. I echo more of a sensible therapy call. I'm sick of being depressed. I'm sick of being, you know, I'm not in, I'm not out, as I said. I'm doubt, but there's a reason why I'm doubt, because I love my club. I love these teams. And on paper, I believe that we can challenge. The thing is, but in order to do so, you got to be sensible. You got to look, you got to grab the bull by the horn, have balls to do that. So I agree with most of you panel are saying. We will get by to the summer, but until then, we have 9 important games, 27 points to play for. We have a FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. We can win, and the birds are singing because spring is in the air. Somewhere where you are sitting, Mark, as well. So positive vibes, but tread with cautious. Right. Summer will prove. The proof will be in the pudding. And if you want to play the Eric Ten Hag way, you certainly need to get rid of certain players. If you want to stay,
100%.
if you want to stay in quicksand, as what we've been doing, then keep the same bloody players. We get nowhere. If you guys are watching this in retrospective, we do appreciate if you smash that like button, please, and give us a subscribe if you haven't. It's been a sheer pleasure, guys, for having you calling in. And whatever you're doing the rest of your Monday, kick back, relax, enjoy your Easter, remaining of Easter if you're celebrating. And Mark, big up to see you. Sajif as well. Mental ball
Yeah.
game as per usual. Thomas as well.
Cheers, man.
Thank you guys for coming in as well.
Thanks.
Big up,
Yep.
Mick.
Big up,
Big up to the
everyone.
VR Rumors.
Yep. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and smash the like button. We will be back later on this evening with Jarvis Corner. That's going to be a cracking show, 9 p.m. UK time. Jarvis has a treat for you. And we have the one and only Phil Marsh, ex-United player, joining us tonight. Of course, we're going to break down the game the Jarvis tactical way, but we're also going to talk about injuries and what it's like to play in the academy and playing youngsters, and who else is better to have on the show than Phil Marsh. Guys, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching, and we shall 100% see you to the next one, shall we? Take it easy. Talk to you later. Bye for now. And by the way, glory, glory, Manchester United. Glazes out as per usual. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.